there is more downside in my opinion to come. A golden cross happening literally in the next 4 to 6 days in my opinion. The last time we got a 100 and almost 19% rally to the upside. Guys, I'm back and something crazy for Bitcoin is happening really soon that we need to speak about today, and I'm gonna explain you why yesterday there was no video. So let's get into it, let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again. So why did I not make yesterday a video? Really funny story. 2 days ago I made a video. 2 hours later, food poisoning. So I caught it before the video, but I got everything happened after I actually did the video. So I was more on the toilet than everywhere else. I will not get into any more details. I feel a little bit better, still look like shit. I saw something in the charts for Bitcoin that I thought we need to speak about, and that's why I came out here today, even though I really feel still not okay. So smash up the like button to make me a little bit, to feel a little bit better, guys. And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Now let's talk about the DXY here, why the DXY is on a rampage to the upsides. And for me, there's only one real reason for this, that the DXY is going up, and that's the US election. You know, so they want to prop up the dollar as much as they can, but at the same time also prop up risk on assets. So now from what I'm seeing here, we could reach 105 to 105.5 points on the DXY running into the election before we see this reversing just after the election. And that will again then prop up even more the markets than we're already doing that. So I'm waiting for that. I believe when we break here above 104.5 points, that it's more or less confirmed that we will go 1 point higher before we get a massive reversal. Because look here, since the beginning of October, basically, we are just on a rampage here without any major corrections. And if you know markets, this is not natural to see something like this, especially in traditional markets. So they're getting propped up like crazy. So, and at some point, this is reversing back to the downside. Now, when we're looking at Bitcoin, the bearish divergence that I was speaking about is in full progress of playing out here. But guys, we haven't fully reached the target just yet. So there is more downside, in my opinion, to come before we will go higher. But we are really close to the end of it, guys. Really close. I don't believe that there's that much more downside, but a little bit, just a tiny little bit more. So here, I still believe we could see a quick move to $64,600 approximately, and get from there a bounce back to the upside and rally then into $70,000. That's right now the worst that I can see. 64,700, 65, 66. We just tapped 66. So and we are not getting here a strong bounce just yet. So there might be a little bit more downside in that move before we finally go back up. But this is fine. So here on the daily chart, things are looking not that bad, honestly. When you look here at the downward sloping channel that we were in for almost 8 months, we are bouncing off the downward sloping trend line here, and that makes me definitely bullish on Bitcoin, that we are at least bouncing off that and not falling back below that, even though there is a chance that we get a wick down here. But as long as we're not closing a daily candle back in that range, we should be absolutely fine. On the super trend on the MDX algo, as you can see here, we are still on the green uptrend here on the support band. Remember what I said, even if we come all the way to the bottom of it, which is right now at $65,400, would be not the end of the world. And I also strongly believe that we might actually tap that, like I said, maybe with a wick even below that, but close then back in that super trend. What is the big thing that I've seen today where I thought I need to come out and make a video about? So that is here on this daily chart, a golden cross happening literally in the next 4 to 6 days, in my opinion. So you see here the 50 moving average is coming up here and going to cross the 200 moving average. So on the daily chart, that is actually a really big deal. But regardless of that, like I just said, there might be a little bit more downside even into the golden cross before we get the effects of the golden cross and push back to the upside. So now, what happened the last time that we got a golden cross on the daily chart? Also want to show you that. The last time we got a 100 and almost 19% rally to the upside before we got here a death cross. And then the time before that, so here, this, let's not count this because that was during the bear market. So here in 2020, here we saw 356.54% of a rally into the next death cross. And that was coinciding more or less with the end of the bull market, so plus minus 3 weeks or so. These golden crosses on the daily chart, what I want to say here, are really, really powerful. And it does not really matter where you enter during this golden cross. If you enter at the golden cross and you wait 1 day longer to be it confirmed and enter there, or if you enter the day that we are crossing, it does not really matter. So as long as you would not use crazy leverage on a swing position like that, you will be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. So just don't use like 50x leverage on a trade like that, and that you can hold that into $100,000, $200,000 into this bull run. So there is a possibility that you will be able to do that, but it will be more luck than anything else. So rather play it safe, maximum like 10x leverage on this, and then hold this long-term trade as long as you want. Because even if we only get from here, let's say we get the golden cross here at 63. Actually, a little bit higher. Let's make it 65 or something. 65. Let's say we get at 65 and we rally 50%. 50% is almost $100,000 if we only rally 50%. If we rally 75% afterwards, it brings us to 113,000, almost 114,000. Sorry, my brain is still fried from being sick, so apologies for that. So, but $114,000 if we get a 75% move. I don't believe that we get straight a 100 and almost 20% move, because diminishing returns every cycle, as you know. So therefore, I would expect like on that specific move, like $114,000. Then some consolidation followed, and then a continuation into higher levels. So, but it shows you that right now is a really good time to get into a position in anticipation of the golden cross. But again, if you want to play it safe, you should wait a little bit longer before you open here a big swing position. If you trade on spot, it doesn't matter. You can enter now. Really, it doesn't really matter. On leverage, it's something else. So leverage, I would wait for the confirmation of the golden cross. When we go into the 12-hourly chart, here based on the VPVR, we are already in our support zone. Here, remember what I said, it doesn't matter where you enter here in that support zone. Anywhere within that support zone is absolutely fine. The stochastic RSI has already bottomed out. The MACD is still looking a little bit bearish, but also the RSI sees here already a small uptick. So as long as we are able to manage to come quickly above $67,000, we should also see from here continuation based off the point of control here at the $67,000 level. Guys, again, if you don't have any money to trade, just have $100, $200, go to Bybit, sign up there, deposit $100, claim your free $500 airdrop position. You can turn $500 into a lot of money, guys. Don't underestimate that. I have proven it to you many, many times before that I made 4 or 5 figures out of small amounts like that here, and you can trade any of these coins here that are mentioned. The only thing that you need to do is sign up on Bybit with the link in the description and the pin comment below, deposit $100, claim the free airdrop position on any of these coins here, and I'm going to speak about some of these coins here in a minute. So now, on the MDX algo gradient, scalp gradient, what you can see here is that price action is currently in a cooling off phase, which is absolutely fine. We have here now the first lighter green candle. We could get some more green candles in my opinion. Also here on the reactor indicator from MDX algo, we're seeing right now a cool off phase. Usually when we're coming into a cool off phase like that, we get one final move here to the downside like here before we turn around. And this looks like we are turning around soon. Also here with 2 indications already, reversal indications, early reversal indications. Look here, we got the same early reversal indications close to the bottom when it happened. Got one more step a little bit lower and then reverse back to the upside. I see something similar happening here right now. So now on the liquidation levels, here we have cleaned up a lot of the liquidity that was previously below us. Now the late long positions are still here in the high leverage liquidity, all the way down to $64,250. Not saying that we have to go that low, but again, 65,700, 64,900 might be in the cards here before we get the proper bounce here back to the upside. And at the same time, there is a potential that the EMA ribbon will flip back into a downtrend. So we will have an extended period, most likely into the end of the month, before we are flipping that back. So it will be technically just a fake out, something that we have seen over here. Just a small fake out over a period of 5 days. I see here the same 5 to 7 days. And then we flip back to the upside, and then we get continuation in direction of $70,000. On the liquidation heat map, also here you see below us, there's not much liquidity left anymore that has built up over the last 24 hours. Let's actually go to a 3-day chart. Also here you see there's liquidity all the way down to like $65,500. And from there, I would expect a reversal here into the $68,000 level, because here's now all the short liquidity concentrated. And that is definitely acting as a magnet for the price action. So here, and then also don't forget the $70,000 area, which has still like an insane amount of liquidity, even on the higher time frames. And you guys know I put my money where my mouth is. I have already a trade open here on ZoomX right now, $2,400 roughly in a profit already. Remember 2 days ago, I showed you how I placed my limit order for this trade. Here you can see limit order. It got filled, and look at the sniper entry. This is a sniper entry, guys. So I got the sniper entry. I'm up here nicely right now, $2,400. Again, if you want to trade with me on ZoomX, there is a link in the description below, and you stand a chance to win twice per week, $500. If you deposit $100 and open a trade, even if it's just a $1 trade, open, close it, and you're eligible for the $500 giveaway. I will give away tomorrow $500. So that's your chance to complete all these easy steps to be eligible for the giveaway tomorrow. So use the link in the description and the pin comment below for that. When I look at the USDT dominance, I'm not surprised that we are pushing here a little bit higher currently, but I believe we are not going that much higher. Remember, the worst case that I predicted was if we go all the way back up here to the top of that support range and get a rejection from there back to the downside. So currently, while we are going up, of course, many altcoins are bleeding, but I'm going to show you some altcoins. They are holding up quite well currently, which surprised me, to be honest. When we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance, remember what I said the other day, I was expecting that we get a reversal here to the upside. Now, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes up or down, the dominance will increase. And especially when Bitcoin starts to turn around, in that moment, the dominance will definitely spike here. And then we're going to reach close to 60% or even touch 60%. And that should be then the moment where we top out in the dominance and finally see the turnaround and go all the way below the 50% mark over the next couple of months, and which will lead to crazy returns on altcoins. So here on the spaghetti chart, you see ICP, one of the coins that I'm currently in, is here outperforming today. Bitcoin, Gala is another one, MKR is another one, and otherwise you see most of the altcoins are performing not so good against Bitcoin currently. So now when we're looking at Ethereum, as an example, you see here massive rejection from $2,770. Exactly as I mentioned it to you guys, if we will come back at least to the EMA ribbon. Currently we get supported here on the daily chart. I would not expect that this is going to hold. Again, we talked about this, $2,500 is here the line in the sand for are going to, before we see here any major reversal back to the upside. The RSI wants here slightly to turn around already, but the stochastic still points down. The MACD is also in the next 3 days about to give a sell signal if we continue on this trajectory. So here definitely the Ethereum bulls need to step in to turn us around. But otherwise, $2,500 might be a good level where you can open a new position. We're just 3% away from that, a little bit less than 3%. Then Solana. Solana is one of the coins that is actually holding up insanely well here right now. And that is really surprising. It's one of the surprising coins here on the 12-hourly chart. Look at this, how well we hold here above $164. Do I believe that we keep holding that? I need to check here. For now, yes, it looks like it. Even though on the daily chart we're not looking that bullish, but the lower time frames looking really, really bullish, and they want to push here higher. So you see that with the stochastic RSI giving a buy signal, the RSI pointing to the upside, the MACD most likely is going to print a lighter red candle, which is showing selling pressures fading away with the next 4-hourly candle close. And as soon as we break here $170, we're going to snap to $180 really, really quickly. So would I enter right now? No, I would not, because the higher time frames still worry me a little bit. It can snap to $180, but I think from there we are definitely coming back to current levels and even a little bit lower than that before we then get a proper move here in direction of $200 and beyond. One of the coins that I was also looking at was HNT. HNT had now a massive rally since we entered it. I think almost 20%. Okay, 12%. 12%. I knew it was something with 2. So 12% at current price levels. So if you're in that trade, congratulations, guys. That is one of the coins that's also holding up quite well over the last couple of days. Would it be one of the coins that I would be entering currently? No, but the 4-hourly chart is also giving us a buy signal currently. The RSI is spiking. The MACD, I think, also is going to lose momentum on the sell side pretty soon. And the range that I'm looking at to enter is here $6.83 to $6.63 approximately. So 65, $6.65. Because I still expect here a small pullback before we get then also continuation into the downward sloping resistance line for HNT. Then Uniswap, look here, what a spike we got here to $8.75. If Bitcoin would have not turned around, that would have kept going and would have been a really nice moonshot, because we just were getting started here and then Bitcoin slammed down. So, but that is exactly what I was talking about, guys. When we close above the 200 moving average, that we are going to see here a teleport into $11 really, really quick. So you basically saw here now a precursor of that. Once we are above that level, you see this coming into fruition. So now we are again on top of our support zone here. Currently, not the best moment to enter, at least on the daily chart. Let's look at some other charts here. 12-hourly, 4-hourly also says good to enter here. Let me explain you how I would trade this. If I would enter here, what I would do is I would use only 50% of the position size that I would like to use for this trade. So let's say I want to trade with $2,000 in total. So I would use $1,000 right now to enter, just to not miss the move if it out of nowhere shoots to the upside at current levels. And if we come lower here, let's say we come back to, I need a higher time frame for this. Let's say we come back to $7.25, then here I have a limit order for the other $1,000. So you have to take in consideration that this is almost an 8% move. So you should not trade with more than 5x leverage on that position here. So just that you know, so not to use crazy leverage on that. Then the next one is Rune. Rune really strong today. Again, Rune is one of the outliers. Every single time when Bitcoin is going down, Rune is performing really well. We are breaking here once again the downward sloping trend of that symmetrical triangle here. My opinion, if we can close here above the downward sloping trend line right now, that might be a really good and solid trade, a better one than Uni in my opinion, because this can also run now really quickly to $5.84 and $6 once we are breaking here confirmed above the downward sloping trend line. We got here a small fake out, but I believe if we close now above that trend line, this will be the real break, and then we get our follow through here to the upside. So if you're looking to trade on Rune, that might be the setup that you are looking for, because the stochastic is turning around, the RSI is extremely bullish. Here also still buy momentum on the MACD. So for whatever reason, Rune always is performing, even though Bitcoin is going down and is holding up most of the time quite well. Then another one, Doge. Doge, here you see we start now to the retrace that I was talking about. The retrace will most likely go all the way down to at least the 200 moving average. And that's where I would look to enter, between the 200 moving average and here 12 cents and 5. These are the levels that I'm personally looking at to enter this. And then trade this here all the way up into the 20 cents mark, potentially even higher than that. I see a lot of people calling for $1, but this is of course the end of the bull market target, so maybe I might actually open here a swing position when we get back down here and trade this into the end of the bull run. So now imagine $1 from here is like an 8x. If I put $20,000 on that with 5x leverage, that is 40 times the money that I put in. So if I put $20,000 into this trade, I make almost $1 million on that one trade if I keep it until the end of the bull market. And it might be worth a shot, so it might be worth it. So even if it goes to 80 cents, doesn't matter. I make $600,000-$700,000, so on a move like that. Sometimes you need perspective that even with considerably small amounts, depending what is small for you, you can make like crazy returns, like 30x returns on a coin like that, during a bull run, if you use a little bit of leverage and don't go too crazy. So now, then also Phantom. Phantom is coming down now, exactly as I was telling you guys we're coming down here most likely into the buy zone between 62 to 66 cents approximately. We got the golden cross here already, but because all the indicators are going down, price doesn't really care about the golden cross currently, also with Bitcoin going down. So, but Phantom will teleport really quick to over 80 cents when Bitcoin is turning around. Let me tell you that. So here, I'm currently still targeting at least 66 cents. We're not far away from that. How far are we? 4%? Yeah, 4.5% away from that, which is not a crazy move here to get 4.5%. That will be the first layer where I'm going to enter, and then I have more limit orders stacked here to make sure that I definitely going to catch that move when this is turning around back to the upside. So worst case scenario is that we are bouncing off the 50 moving average, which is in alignment with the buy zone that we are currently seeing here. And guys, if you cannot use Bybit or ZoomX, or you want to have custody of your coins while you are trading, then go to AlphaX. AlphaX is one of the decentralized exchanges. I will give away $500 in trading funds to one of you guys that is signing up in the next 3 days to AlphaX. So also use the link in the description and the pin comment below if you want to stand a chance to win $500. So you have basically how many platforms right now? You have how to say this again? Two chances to win $500 on 2 different platforms, or even win on both platforms, also possible. So you make use of that with the links in the description below, guys. And that's it already for today's video. I hope that was a quick one. I did not pay attention to the time. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you a little bit healthier and with more money tomorrow.